Once there was only darkness, but out of the bleak abyss came a will, and this will gave form to the dark, molding it into the land, the sea, and the sky. And before rising to the heavens to create the stars, it appointed two porters to care for the earth in his stead. The first porter quickly fell in love with his father's creations, especially man, who were clever and quite impressionable. However, they were feeble things. The constant shifting of the earth made it difficult to travel and find food, so many creatures would perish. The first decided that something needed to be done. He put an end to the world's constant shifting, positioned the sun perfectly to give unlimited light and warmth, and flattened and sowed the fields to provide a bounty for all creatures. It was paradise to all, but the second Buddha. Something felt wrong to him, but he couldn't place what. Is this what we are meant to do? Asked the second. Of course, said the first. What else could there be? Encouraged by his Buddha's certainty, the second decided to start bestowing gifts of his own. He took some of the less clever creatures and gave them sharp nails so they could dig and climb better, and sharp teeth so they could chew better. However, for some reason, these creatures became vicious and began attacking and eating the other creatures, especially man, who had not been gifted with speed or strength or armor. Aware of his foolish Buddha's mistake, the first Buddha swiftly taught mankind to craft fences and spears to keep the threats at bay. The second Buddha didn't know what happened. To make up for his folly, he would bring fresh water to the beleaguered creatures who can no longer sate their thirst safely. He brought the water through the sky and released it over the land. However, it was too much, and much of what mankind had built was swept away. The survivors had to begin again with nothing. To survive, mankind resorted to eating some of the other creatures as well. But the first Buddha set aside a few to work on mankind's behalf. In grief over his failure, the second Buddha was determined to do just one thing to help the world he was meant to look after. He saw the effect the heat of the sun was having on the creatures who labored in the fields. He would just reduce its brightness a bit. Instead, he broke the sky in half. With only a pale orb of light in the other half of the sky, mankind couldn't see well enough to work the fields or defend themselves. In a rage, the first Buddha struck the second, sending him off into the black abyss. There, adrift and alone, the second Buddha pondered why the Creator would waste his power to make a fool like him. He watched as his Buddha retrieved part of the sun and brought it to man. He saw them use it to fend off his darkness. He watched as forests grew from his rain and towns grew around the lakes and rivers caused by his flood. He saw the slow, pampered creatures of earth grow strong. Because of him, the second Buddha finally understood what he was meant to do. He'd been doing it the whole time without even realizing it. He had to return. He had so many new ideas. His Buddha won't like it. His Buddha will fight him, forever if necessary. But maybe that's what's best too. Maybe this was always